So it's time for another gardening week, and it seems like I'm just going through this endless process now of just clearing beds and getting them replanted, and that is kind of the way it's been. It's been a bit of a slow transition, mainly just because of the weather, and I'm going to put spinach into this bed. I'll just show you how I'm clearing it. I'm basically just slicing off these roots here, and then I can just clear it up later. It's a fairly quick process. So this bed was pretty dry, so I've given it a pretty good water, 2 watering cans. Still not really wet, but I'm going to be watering in some nematodes to kill the cutworms soon, and the slugs. So I think I don't want to give it too much water straight off. So I've watered the modules really well just to give the plants a good start. And obviously I'm not planting this spinach particularly close together. I think I'm going for 6x5. So I've got 2 types of spinach here. I've got Santa Cruz, which is meant to be slow to bolt, which is always nice in a spinach, because it's notorious, spinach, for quickly bolting as soon as the light levels and heat increase in late spring. And this is probably my last succession actually of spinach, apart from the Asian spinach, so Mikado, which I've still got another succession of that to go. I might be tempted to try this Santa Cruz for a later harvest, just to see how truly slow to bolt it is, because I've heard many times about spinach that's slow to bolt that turns out to not be quite as slow as my expectation. And then at this end I'm putting in Rubino, which is my current replacement for Red Kitten. So it's the red veined type, and I really like Red Kitten. It's way more expensive than buying Rubino from Moles. I get through a lot of spinach, so I like to buy it in bulk, and Moles means I can just get 1 packet for the whole year, which is it's just fantastic. 1 module short. How annoying is that? Well, it's annoying to me, but pretty pleased with that. They've all gone in nicely. They're all pretty good. I'm just going to give them another water in, and quite sunny weather over the next few days. Sunny and showers, basically. It's March, but basically like April, and they should be settled in, and we should be picking these in 2 weeks' time probably for baby leaf, because the baby leaf bed over there is looking now like it'll soon be being picked for cooking leaves. And when I think I can get away with it, I do like to water in. I think it just settles the plants in nicely, but it also just washes the leaves and gets any soil off the leaves, and they just seem to thrive after that. So I thought now we'd just take a look at what's going to get replanted in spring. So down here we've got field beans. We're going to put potatoes in there, so second earlies, and then this will be all down here will be purple sprouting broccoli. So by the time all these field beans and broad beans are finished, that'll be nice timing. And then in here this will be the carrot bed, and this is currently full of lettuce and Asian greens, and I'll probably plant the carrots in May. So that'll be good timing, because by then those Asian greens will have gone to seed, and these lettuces will be coming towards the end anyway. In here right now we've got the carrots, and we've got spinach, and then in this bed we've got lettuces and radishes interplanted, and this whole bed is going to be potatoes. So this will get replanted sometime early April probably, because I've got the ability to keep it frost free with the cold frame top, and I'll just put a bit of fleece over it if it's going to get really cold. So yeah, so that should be a nice second early crop of potatoes. They'll probably come out sometime in August, and that gives me plenty of time to get that replanted. I'm not exactly sure what it'll get replanted with, but anyway, that's a topic for another day. And then down here in this bed, it's not planted with anything at the moment. I've just been harvesting the leeks out of here. It's going to be yacon in May, but before the yacon goes in, I think I'm going to try for a harvest of Mikado spinach. It's an Asian spinach, it's slow to bolt, and I think I'll just make holes in the spinach bed so I can put the yacon in it while the spinach is still in, because yacon's slow to get started, but then it'll take over that whole bed. So that is that done. So here I've got the purple sprouting broccoli that we're currently harvesting. I think it's probably got about 3 weeks of harvest left in it before we switch over to this bed here, and that'll be a nice time in to put carrots in for autumn. So I'll probably put 2 shon carrots in this little bed, and yeah, they'll be really nice big carrots by the time we get to autumn. So we're nearly there. So this bed where we've got the Brussels sprouts that unexpectedly have gone to seed, I think I'm going to put calabrese in this bed, and I'll probably put it out in 3 or 4 weeks time, and that should be nicely timed really with the red cabbages there, so this whole bed can be cleared then in sort of August time. And then finally I've got this spinach bed. This is my oldest spinach bed, and so I'll get getting this cleared in a week or two, and this bed's going to be summer carrots. So that's most, I think, of what I've got. Oh, I've just got that one bed over there. So in early May I'll be putting my Brussels sprouts in here, and the colettes will be harvested, all disappeared within about a month, I should think, something like that. And then this is going to be my beetroot bed for storage. I might not plant that until June though, and so I've probably got quite a bit of time. I don't really know what I'll do with that bed. I hate to have a bed at sort of peak growing time that is going to end up empty. So I might have to sort of interplant it with salad onions or something like that, and see how that goes. And then everything else pretty much is going to stay the way it is until late May really, or early June, which is when the melons and the peppers and the tomatoes and the cucumbers and all that sort of thing go in. So yeah, it's going to be a nice relaxing spring for me. So now I'm just going to take these last few lettuces out. I've been looking forward to doing this for ages actually. So these are the very last of the winter lettuces. So nice to get rid of these. And I'm not going to replant today because the Asian greens that are going in here, they're just not quite ready. They're probably ready sort of Thursday this week or something. So I'm just going to prepare this bed ready because I won't have much time for the rest of the week. Too much cycling and hiking. So I'm just going to pre-water these holes so that they're nice and moist for when I come back in a few days' time. And then finally I've just got these little celery plants. I'm just going to start popping them in little gaps that I've got in the beds. So pop this in between the calabrese. I'm hoping that the calabrese won't kind of overpower them. They're going to be pretty big, I think, by the time they're totally overwhelmed. But I've got plenty of celery, so if it proves to be a bad idea, I've got plenty of spares. And I don't really need that much celery for eating fresh in salads, which is all this is for. I just noticed that my cauliflowers are starting to flower. Way too early. Way too early. These are meant to be in May. And it's March. I'm not happy. It's a good job I've got lots of successions. And then this, I've just taken the last few lettuce out of this bed, and so I've made space now for this last little spring cabbage. Same batch as this one, so you can just see how much these spring cabbages are enjoying being in the ground. Let's get a bit of weeding done while I'm at it. So I've just been writing about milestones, and this is a big one. The last few of these Asian greens going into the polytunnel, and yeah, really quite excited to get this done, partly because I've hurt my back, and so I don't want to be doing much planting for the next week or so. I just actually did it pushing my bike because I got a puncture, and had to push it quite a long way, and that is just not a very natural kind of way to use your body. And yeah, so it's a bit tender. Oh, can you see me? It's a bit of a struggle. But, you know, there's nothing wrong with using a bad back. It just hurts. And before we get on with the harvest, I thought I'd just show you my broad beans. They're looking very nice, much nicer than the ones outside, which I'm not going to show you. Well, it was a grim day harvesting today. Really wet and windy, and but yeah, it's kind of worth it though at the end of the day. So I'll just quickly talk you through this. It's not a lot different to last week, to be honest. So potatoes, colettes, mixed brassicas, all sorts of different things there. Loads and loads of these little mixed brassica boxes, gorgeous. Celeriac, winter squash, crown prince, although it doesn't look very crown prince-like, but that's what it is. Beetroot from the store. Shallots and onions and garlic from the store. Actually, we've got green garlic now, which is absolutely gorgeous. Leeks, as I said, all these are mixed brassicas. Loads and loads of spinach, of course, and loads of purple sprouting broccoli. Actually, the carrots, finally, they're not too bad. So after months of slug-eaten carrots, I'm starting a new bed, and yeah, these aren't too bad, so I'm pleased I left this bed to the end, really. Yeah, Asian greens at the back, salad onions and radishes, and this is the green garlic. So I find that my stored garlic, it doesn't really store much beyond the end of March, starts to degrade in quality, but at this time we've got green garlic, just immature garlic, harvested, so you can eat the whole thing. Absolutely great, and so we'll be having that in my tea tonight. Yeah, more spinach, and then these are all the lettuce bases, and lots of lovely, very colourful leaves now in the salads, which is great. And then spinach to go in the salads, and lamb's lettuce to go in the salads. And then that, I think, is pretty much it. So I just make up those salads. And my name's Steve. This is the Seaside Kitchen Garden and Allotment channel. I'll see you soon.